Hello, Brad Eisenhower from Activate the Space. We've been providing digital signage solutions for over a decade. If you've been to Times Square, you've probably seen a lot of our systems in action. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a cloud-based digital signage network using Signage Live. You'll learn how to install the player software, upload content to the cloud, and schedule it to play on the screen. Oh, and along the way, I'm going to show you a few third-party apps from the Signage Live marketplace that will help you polish your presentations with agency-grade content. Let's get started. There are many player options with Signage Live. We start at the bottom here with Amazon. So these you can just buy from Amazon.com, get them shipped to your house or to your office. I would suggest using the Amazon 4K. That seems to work the best. And these are good for playing 4K full screen content, 1080p full screen content, images, video, HTML, they're okay, but they do not handle a ticker and other professional type of features. So this is good if you want to get learning the system or you've got a little shop that you want to put a digital sign in. Next step up from there are the Idea and BrightSign players. The Idea player here is a nice little player. It's got Ethernet built in, which is really nice. It's not a dongle like on the Amazon. And you have Wi-Fi as an option. That's built right into it. And you can just plug it right into your screen just like that. So there's HDMI plug right there. And then we have the BrightSign LS4. These are fantastic. They do an amazing ticker. They render out web pages pretty good. And they play back full screen videos and images. This is a 1080p player. This is both these are 1080p players. My personal system of choice is the XT244 or 1144. The 1144 gives you live video input. Once again, Wi-Fi is optional, but this baby actually allows you to power it over Ethernet. So you don't have to have all those ugly wall warts. You can actually, if you have power over Ethernet, you can power this on Ethernet. It's fantastic. And then you have the Windows. And so if you're a Windows house or your company says you can only work on Windows, we support Windows Player with Seneca and a bunch of other Nooks, stuff like that. There's also live video input as an option on this particular Seneca computer. And then the Mac has an external live video input, and we support the Macintosh. Macs Minis are great. These are my system of choice when it comes to easy use because I'm a Mac guy at heart, so I'd love to use these things. So today we're going to set up a Macintosh as a Signage Live player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remote into one of my Macs here at the office using Remote Desktop. All right, so here I've got two Macs. I've got one running horizontal here, and we'll just move this over a little bit. And I've got another one running vertical, right? So this is running 1920 by 1080, and this one's running 1080 by 1920. I'm going to, I downloaded the Signage Live installer. If you want to get that, you can just contact info@activatethespace.com, and we'll set you up with a trial account, and you can download the installer. Once you download that, you have the Signage Live app that you're going to drag into the Applications folder. And once you're in the Applications folder, you're going to double-click on that to launch the app. If any prompts come up for security stuff, just say, yep, open it up. Okay, now Signage Live is going to launch, and it's going to bring us to our settings page. There's a lot of different settings here. Most important setting is going to be auto run at login. You're going to select that, and you hit save. Signage Live is now loading the application again. And if it connects to the internet okay, it'll show us a registration code up on screen. And there it is. So I've downloaded all the software, installed it on the Mac Mini, and now I need to go to Signage Live to take that registration code and register the player with the network. So here we are logged into Signage Live. We can see all our players. So I've got a bunch of Amazon players, an Idea, a Mac Mini, a BrightSign player. See, what's great about Signage Live is you have all these different types of players that you can put on your network so you can get the right player for the right job and you're not stuck in the one platform. But I'm going to go in and go to licenses. And I'm going to select the license, one of my demo licenses. So if you do need a demo license, once again, email me info@activatethespace.com. I'll set you up with the demo server and you can download the license. I'm going to activate the code and it's THP32Q. Save. So it says activating the license, and license is now activated. So now we have a fresh new player on the network, and it's time to put the settings on the player. To do this, on here, I can see the different settings. So we're going to check our connectivity settings. Now, the content check is really important, and to speed things up, I'm going to change it to 1 minute, but you can change that depending on what your network requires, but I'm going to change that to 1 minute content checks. And I'm going to change the health check, which is basically taking a tally of the system, what state it's in. I'm going to set that to 1 hour. On scheduled reboots, the Mac doesn't support that. You just do that through the Energy Saver control panel. But if you're on a BrightSign player, all that stuff, you could do that as well. Usually want to reboot a system at least once a day, just to make sure you clear out things. So like I said, on the Mac, you use the Energy Saver control panel. On all these other systems, we support it right through the Science Live interface. I want to hit enable screenshots. This is crucial. So I can take a screenshot of whatever is playing on the screen at fixed intervals. So for instance, 5 minutes here. You could do 10 minutes. The fastest you can do is 5 minutes. So we'll do that. And we'll say take a screenshot at next content check as well. Hit save. All right. Once it's saved, we're good to go. The next step is to check the system settings just to make sure everything's okay. And yep, we are 1080 by 1920, which is a vertical display portrait. And then I also have 5 Eastern time. So that's great. So our time zone's correct. The next part is site contact and details. So we'll call this test player Mac Mini. And then I'm going to just leave that as. I usually copy this number. This is that registration code. I copy this over to reference. And we'll, you can put all types of information here, like Brad is your on-site guy. You can put in his phone number, 800-306-0620. You can actually go and make some notes for the player too. So installed Mac Mini today. What's great about this is that you can keep all your information on that player. So as things happen, you replace players, you'll have a full log of what's going on with that player. And what's nice about that is every time you're kind of looking, if you're building your network, this is really important stuff you need as you grow. All right, so now that I'm in here, I've checked out my notes, and this final piece is really cool. So this is actually real-time events. And this is only available on Activate the Space Network. So if you're going to buy software from us, you'll actually get this feature. And what it is, it's a network trigger to trigger content to play. It's kind of like, telling Alexa to start things and stop things. But within the content, I can actually tell the content to trigger a video to switch on an input, or to trigger the lights to change, or trigger the air conditioning, which I had right now, which would come on. You can pretty much trigger anything through network triggers. You can tell the screen to turn off, screen to turn on, all that stuff. So these are local network triggers. They're only available with Activate the Space. Now we've got our player all set up. We're ready to start making content. So I'm going to use my playlist function for that. To do that, you go to Playlist, Create. You can just click on Playlist. And then you'll see your content here. So what we're looking at here is all your content, so your library of content. You've got folders over here that you can organize all your content, and then you have a playlist section over here. So for instance, if I wanted to bring in some content, I can just say plus from the marketplace, and I can grab some content from the marketplace. Marketplace is essentially the app store for Signage Live. There's all types of apps here. You've got SceneSpire, news, calendar, all types of stuff. What we'll do is we'll bring in a news app. Yahoo News sounds good. And we'll say add to Signage Live. Now, the very important thing is a lot of people don't know how to get out of here from here. There's this little faint X over here. Just click on that, and that closes that. And what I can do is I can go to my unsorted content and look at the stuff I just added. So there you go. So there's Yahoo News. I'm going to drag that over to my playlist. And then I'm going to see what else we got. So media asset upload. This is what most of you folks will probably be doing right out of the gate. You might have a video or an image that you want to load up. So you just go to here, and in my computer, I've got this little Cambridge side demo of one of the video walls we did. Now, this is really important. This area here says, I confirm I have permissions. You have to click on that to go to the next level and actually upload it to the server. You can bring in multiple things here as well. You can bring in multiple pieces of content, and we're set. So I brought in that Cambridge side demo. Some other things you can do is web pages. We'll do that in a little bit. RSS media feeds, so like news tickers and IPTV streams, which are great for streaming video for corporate functions or you just need to do some video streams into the system. All right, so now I'm going to go into my SceneSpire infotainment and grab some content from there. So let's see, what do I got here? I got my weather, and I've got my social media. I'll grab some social media. All right, so there's my content all ready to play. Now it's a matter of just saving the playlist. So I hit Save Playlist, give it a name. Just call it Test for now. Save it, and we're good. Okay, so we've imported content and we've created a playlist. Now it's a matter of publishing the playlist to the players. I'm going to go Publish under the Content menu, and I'm going to pick, I've got a couple options here. I can say when nothing else is playing, between chosen dates and times, and as a result of a trigger. I'm going to choose between certain dates and times. Here you can pretty much leave this all as is, but if you did want to change it, there's lots of options here. So you can choose an end date. You can also choose on selected days. So if I wanted to schedule this only for the weekend, I'm going to play every day. And then I select what I want to publish. So I'll say playlist. Choose that test playlist. Gives me a preview here. There it is. And then I'm going to go down to here. I'm going to select my players. So there's my Activate the Space test player right there, ready to go. I'm going to say OK. And we are ready to publish. Now the final step is what everyone forgets, is to push this Publish to Player button. So I get a lot of support calls afterwards. People hit publish and they go, nothing's published. It's because they haven't hit this Publish to Players button. That's an important step. So now it's publishing out to the players, and we'll be seeing the content in just a minute. Usually it takes about, anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes to play, depending on the settings of the players and where you're at. All right, so now we're playing content. You can see the content. See, what's great about SceneSpire and a lot of these widgets is they automatically fill the screen depending if you're, no matter if you're landscape or portrait, they automatically fill the screen with content, which is actually fantastic. So that's that. Let's go back to our playlist now and do some editing. And we're going to change some timing. So right now I got everything running at 10 seconds, which is okay. Actually, I don't like the Yahoo News, so we'll take that out and we'll leave these two in. And so I've got the Twitter, I've got the local news. I'm going to change, if you want to change the duration on anything, you just go in here, you double click on it, and then you can change the duration to, let's say, 20 seconds. Actually, I'm going to make that 30 seconds. And if I want to change the duration of the weather, I can just double click on that, hit duration, and change that to 20 seconds. So another way to set your settings on each of the items in the playlist is to go and hit properties. And in here I can set, like I said earlier, I can set the duration, but I can also change the conditions. So I say players that match any tag of 06057, that's the zip code for New Hartford, and that means that weather widget will only play in New Hartford. It even tells me right there, only players that have matched the tags of 06057. That's an incredibly powerful part of the Signage Live playlist that we absolutely love here at Activate the Space. Another thing you can do with that is to go in and set your validity. So let's say you want to make this valid from today until Friday. This will only make the content available from today until Friday. All right. Hit save, and that's it. So all the content that we've done to this point, like setting up the players, you only really do once with Signage Live. That's the great thing about it. At this point, you're just going to save your playlist, and it'll update the content depending on the settings you put on each clip. Now that we've created a playlist, I'm going to create a layout. So we can make, where I showed you earlier on the screens here, where I showed you earlier, we have this layout here for the landscape screen where I have got a bunch of different widgets here, and over here I've got a 16:9 video frame, I've got a ticker, and I've got a clock. So I want to do the same thing for the portrait screen. So to do that, we just go into our content, click on content, layouts. I'm going to select new layout. And by default, it comes up by 16 by 9. So if you want to create a 16 by 9 layout, leave it here, you'll be all set. Here we're going to create a 1080 by 1920 portrait layout. And there it is. So now it's a matter of creating some zones for the content to play in. To do this, I go into my backgrounds, and I'm going to load up a background that I can use as a template. So I've got everything organized in my system here. So I just go to backgrounds. I'm going to do one without the ticker. Double click on it, and you're ready to load the background. So here in my backgrounds, I've got this area here and that area there to create some content for. So I'm going to use what we call a schedulable zone right up here. Click on that and drag that over. So we can create a schedulable zone. Just drag it out. That's what's great about this system, is that you can use your kind of background as a template to create your zones. And then you can swap out your background later as you change your brand or whatever, but you can keep your zones the same. If you're more particular about measurements, you can bring up the zone properties here and type it in as well. So I'm going to say 1010 by 923. And I'm going to move it to 35 pixels coordinations by 958. So no matter how you like to work, if you like to type in numbers, you want to be precise, or you can just drag and drop and create stuff. Now, some other areas we have here is RSS news ticker. We're not going to make that on this demo. You can do that on another one. We've got text, we've got images, we've got web pages we can put on here, but I'm going to use a widget from the Science Live store. So I went in the store earlier and I downloaded the marketplace and downloaded a widget app, and that was for a clock. So let's go in here and do that. So I go into my asset on here, so zone properties, asset, select, and we're going to go to our widgets. And I'm going to use this funky little clock here. Click on the widget again, and we can type in a background. So we're going to go transparent, and refresh. So there you go. So there's our clock ready to go. I'm going to make it a little bigger just by kind of filling in, making this a little bigger here, and see how that fits. All right, cool. So now that we have the layout created, I'm ready to publish the content to the different zones. So to do this, we go into the content menu, publish, between chosen dates and times. What do you want to publish to? I'm going to say not playlist, but layout. Choose my layout. Once this comes up, you can see the different zones here. So I'm going to say top zone. You have two options here, default playlist, scheduled playlist. Use your default playlist. That's the best option. And I'm going to pick my top zone. And then I'm going to go to my bottom zone, and I'm going to choose the default playlist to that. I call that bottom zone. So there we go. We've got our two zones ready to be published. Now I just have to pick my player, select your player, and I'm going to select the Activate the Space Portrait player, hit OK. And what do we do, folks? We always move these guys here and hit Publish to Players. Okay, so now that we've published the content, this is the process that it goes through. So content gets put into the playlist, it gets sent up to the cloud when you publish, it gets sent through the internet down to the players, and then once the players get their confirmation that they have everything, they send the confirmation back to the Science Live server saying that they have all their content. Let's check to see if we've got it yet. All right. Okay, so now the content's been updated. So I've got two screens here. I've got the portrait and landscape screen playing multiple, the same playlist on both. That's actually pretty cool when you think about it, because a lot of the other systems that I've checked out in the past, they make you make separate playlists for each and all this stuff. Now I can just do the work once, and I can update many different screens. Science Live is great for managing your network and creating your schedules, your content, and watching all your players and making sure everything runs. And it's also got some great free widgets. But what I really love are some of the third-party paid widgets. And a few of those are SceneSpire and SodaClick. So let's check this out. So if I go to the SceneSpire webpage, I've got SceneSpire social media. So here I can create all types of social media. I can create a new social media account. I can call it like test. And then I can connect it to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Workplace. So any of the different social media platforms you want, you just say connect to Twitter. It's going to connect. Say authorize the app. And now I'm connected. So let's say I want to make an activate the space, or actually I'll just take like, who should we do? I'm going to add a feed. We're going to go Twitter. I'm going to pick my account. We're going to say Signage Live. And there it is, right? So it finds you the Signage Live account, and we're going to load up content. So you can say like load up from 1 week, 1 month, 3 months. We'll go 6 months back. I'm going to auto publish, but you can manually publish as well, which is pretty cool when you are putting stuff on the internet and you're not quite sure what's going up. But a lot of this stuff is already approved from Signage Live, so I'm just going to hit auto publish. So I'm in there. I've got a couple different templates to choose from. We've already seen this one, which is the grid that was up there earlier. So I'm going to use the preview on this one to see what we got. So there you go. So there's a full screen widget, which is pretty cool for showing content. Now I could go more into this and show you all the settings, but that's on a later demo. So I'm going to finish the setup, and it's going to gather me all my content. So here's a bunch of the content. It'll just keep loading it as it gets it. And now you just go to channel URL, copy that URL, go to Signage Live, go to content playlist, say add web page. Paste in the URL, and we're good. All right, social media added. So if I go to my unsorted area, I should see Signage Live Social. We're going to open up one of our, we'll put that in the bottom area, and we're going to drop this into our playlist. So there it is. I'm going to give it a duration. Once again, go duration. We'll say 30 seconds. If I want to make all these different durations, like let's say if I want to make them all 30 seconds, I can just go here and say select all, properties, amend duration, say 30 seconds for everything. And now all these things are 30 seconds long. You can see that there's certain things that will play in certain tags, so we're all good to go there. Now another piece of content we're going to add is infotainment. So infotainment gives me all types of great feeds. So I've got my local weather, my stock quotes, my Earthly Wonder videos, which are really cool videos around the world, sports news, Major League Baseball news, start of the day, 24 hours in pictures. There's tons of them. There's over 300 channels of content here that you can grab for your digital signage. And this is like, you know, agency grade content. This stuff's absolutely gorgeous. What I'm going to do is make a traffic widget. So to do that, you just put in your zip code, 057, New Hartford, Connecticut, and add to my feed. So like I said, we have tons of other ones here as well. So there's the traffic widget that we created. I'm going to preview this. It's absolutely gorgeous. There it is. It shows me the traffic in my area, which is probably 0 right now because it's a Sunday. But anyways, I'm going to copy that URL. And just like before, go into Signage Live and go add web page, traffic, paste it, save it. So now I've got traffic in New Hartford. I'm going to add that to my playlist, and we're going to double click on that. So in here, I'm going to use my conditions to set that to be my local area, any tags. Set that 06057. Okay. And I'm going to also set the duration. So where's my traffic again? Here it is. Duration, 30 seconds. So everything stays up for 30 seconds. Actually, that one will make a little less, 15 seconds. All right, here's the beauty of Science Live, and this is why my whole team loves it. So we use Science Live every day for scheduling a lot of content for a lot of digital signage networks. And what my team really loves about this is that they can just save the playlist. That's it. So all that setup stuff we did earlier when publishing playlists and all that stuff is only done once. I love it. It's absolutely great. So you go in here, you add your content, and you say, I want to save playlist, and that's it. That's all you need to do. We're going to open up our other file. Top left is part of the screen. We'll add this Cambridge side demo in. Put that at the top and hit Save Playlist. And that's it. Now this other app I'm going to show you is called SodaClick. This is fantastic. What it is, it's a way to create templates for people to create content within your system. So I'm going to go on to SodaClick here. And when you go in here, you've got all types of templates. So I can go to my template gallery. I can look at the vertical templates. I can look at wide templates. So they got them all here. They got education, internal communications, events, fitness, finance, food. You get your menus. You got health, retail, travel, all types of stuff. And then you can make a library of your own templates. So here's all my templates that I like to use. Let's say you want to have a template for human resources to update people's birthdays. So today's not my actual birthday, but we'll update the content as well. So here I can go in here and say content. And here I've got, say happy birthday, whatever you want to do. If I was a super user on this system, I could design my own templates and then put certain fields that the people will actually want to update. So I'm going to say, let's go with pictures. So we've got a bunch of library pictures here that come with it, but I've got my own assets here as well. And let's take, I don't know, who shall I use? How about the Hulk? And we'll say Hulk. What's his last name? Banner. Hulk Banner. Actually, Bruce, right? Bruce Banner. Thanks, James. Oh, what happened? Hulk again. There you go. Bruce Banner's birthday. We're going to post it to Science Live. And I just say update at this point, and it'll update the content automatically. So when I hit update, it updates the content automatically into Science Live. Now you'll see that slide change from Brad Eisenhower to Bruce Banner. It's pretty cool. So there's a lot of features in these apps. And if you want to have a demonstration, please let me know. We can send you a trial account for Science Live. I can send you a trial account for SceneSpire. I can send you a trial account for SodaClick. Not a problem. Just contact us at info@activatethespace.com. All right, so now that that's all complete, we're going to go back to Science Live. And we're going to check out our videos, see how we're looking. Great. So everything should be up to date here. We're playing all our content on our screens. And we're good. Well, that wraps it up for this tutorial. If you have any questions, need a 30-day trial, or if you'd like to purchase any of the products you saw in this video, please feel free to call me at 1-800-306-0620 extension 1 or email info@activatethespace.com. Thanks for watching.